Some people might be thinking, oh, I don't know if I have the money or the time to come to something like this. It's more than paying for itself to be here. And we all need to step away from our business and have this mindset of like, let me grow, let me learn, instead of working in the business, working on the business. That's what this event has done.
All right, I've got Debbie Price with Zen Custom Homes from Minnesota.
Hey,
all
Minnesota.
Right, so I've been asking you for a couple of years now, and I finally broke through.
Yes.
You're at your first Contractor Coalition in Omaha.
Yes.
What brought you here, and what have you learned so far?
You know, what brought me here was you, obviously, and I finally thought, why not? And what I've learned so far is the amount of knowledge that is up on that stage is just, it's fantastic. And also just in the whole room, everybody is there to collaborate and share. And you know, there are so many questions as builders that we have in our head about like, how do you handle this? And what a great space to come and learn those things and understand. There are people there that are so far in front of what I'm doing, but where I want to get to. And they're basically showing me the building blocks of how to get there. Because I think when we all dream about growing, we get stuck in the implementation of it, and there's so much of that information that's being given at this conference.
How, you know, one of the things that you had mentioned in between sessions was, you know, you're excited about, you have a second home in Nashville, and you're excited about potentially doing something down there. And you said, you know, I'm coming even just for connections, there might be a connection there, and you've already made several.
Yes, that's been wonderful. And again, that's the collaboration in the room, just sharing, everybody's like, what's your story? What are you doing? And then from there, they're like, oh, you know, I know a developer there. Why don't you reach out? Here's his number. And you know, some people might be thinking, oh, I don't know if I have the money or the time to come to something like this. It's more than paying for itself to be here. And we all need to step away from our business and have this like mindset of like, let me grow, let me learn, instead of working in the business, working on the business. And that's what this event has done.
I think that's kind of the magic. A lot of us have been to, like, you know, like we have the Curious Builder Collective, which is like a 3-hour session, which is great and wonderful. And maybe you go to like a seminar, or you go to an event where it's like one day, or even like International Builder Show, you know, you might go to like a breakout session. But to have 3 days in a row of deep, you know, learning, time to sort of think. I try not to work on my business at home, answer emails or any of that. I just want to be present. How have you looked at sort of this like 3-day, you know, continual deep work? How is it different than maybe what you were expecting?
Well, I don't think I came in with any expectation, first of all. I think I came here with just a really open mind. And I think at one of the beginnings, someone got up on the stage and said, you know, thank you all for being vulnerable and coming here. And there was a lot of vulnerability, especially as a female general contractor in a room full of men, feeling like, oh boy, this is going to be interesting. So I think I came in just thinking, yeah, I want to learn, and I'm just an open book at this point, and my brain just needs to get filled with whatever anyone wants to give to me. You know, where I build right now in Rochester, there really isn't collaboration. There isn't really a great space to go and talk to other builders about how you're doing it, and it's a little bit of like a no, this is my space, stay out of it. So this is so refreshing.
I mean, it's interesting. I knew you were sort of the vibe for the Contractor Coalition because we partnered on a home a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And someone had referred me to you, another framer. I said, can you give me some references? And they said, call Debbie, she works in this area. And long story short, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to bring what I do all the way down there. It was a couple hours away from my main operation. And you were so open and so willing to say, hey, it was your parting words that set the hook. And maybe you meant it, maybe you didn't, and maybe that was just who you are, which I think is true, which was, if there's anything else I can do to help you, if there's anything else I can help you with in terms of referrals. And at that time, you know, Minneapolis, where I build, you know, is kind of considered like the bigger brother to Rochester. And, you know, for you to welcome someone, and then we ended up partnering on it.
Yeah, it was great.
And I was like, I knew immediately, like, okay, you know, we talk all the time, your vibe attracts your tribe, like this openness, this spirit of collaboration was in you and has been a part of what you do for a long time.
Well, and I put that offer to you, but in my mind, I was thinking it was as much for me as it was for you, because I thought to myself, wow, here's an opportunity to work with someone that builds in the Twin Cities, so outside of the wheelhouse of what I see here, and I wonder how they do things different. And obviously, I would go up every year to all the showcase of homes and meet builders there, but I thought, what a great opportunity to understand how they do things there. And you and I really spent time talking about, this is how I handle cabinetry, and this is how I handle this, and I was like, well, that's fascinating, we do it differently here, let's talk about that. So again, collaboration there, and that, when I spoke to you on the phone, again, I felt the same thing about you. I was like, this is somebody I could work with. Yeah, and it turned out to be a beautiful project for a beautiful couple who couldn't be happier. And they come to all of my showcases now with their 4 kids in tow, and they're just lovely.
Yeah, I think what I love about, especially as you consider, what you might do in Nashville, or what any builder, when you come here, this idea that we stay regional, or that we stay in our city, or we stay kind of in our silo, if you will, but break down the walls and ask for help, see who you can collaborate with. First of all, it's just way more enjoyable to work with people. I think entrepreneurship can be really lonely. And I think one of the things that, podcasting does, what the collectives do, what Contractor Coalition does, is it just lets you connect with other people that are in a similar place to you, and it becomes kind of this fraternity or sorority or a place that you can now, it's your community. It was very well said. I was just talking to Brad Robinson right before you came on here, and he said, this isn't an event, it's a community.
I agree.
And I agree.
Like that. I mean, even just since I've been here, my Instagram has just exploded with everybody that's here with messages and like, oh my gosh, nice to meet you. Let me know if we can help you. And it is like, so it goes beyond this meeting. And I can see that already, that, we're going to become friends with some of the people here, and we're going to exchange, wins and losses and questions. And yeah, it is like it's like a physical breathing, like chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I feel now like I do have a community, and like you just said, being an entrepreneur, it's lonely. It's lonely at the top. And this definitely gives you a feel of community. And you and I have talked about what a crazy industry we've chosen to be in. And this makes it feel like, it just makes it feel less crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Looking forward to the next couple days.
Yeah.
And that's all from Omaha.
Thank you.
If you're interested in attending the Contractor Coalition in the future, please head to contractorcoalitionsummit.com or follow us on Instagram to find out more.